All right. Hello, guys. We're just going to do a quick mic check to make sure that everything is working. Hello for anyone who is popping in today. If you are here, make sure you say hello. We are a nice, friendly group and happy to see people. Sorry about the late start. Just had to get everything set up. All right. It sounds like we have audio. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. Hello, guys, and welcome to another live stream. Hello, Rashitha. Hi, welcome. Happy to see you. Okay. So, welcome. Hello. Happy to see you. So just to go over this again, just really fast. By the way, Rashitha, please tell me how you're doing. I hope you're having a good week. I don't know if you are having a holiday here in Taiwan. We have had a 4-day holiday, which is very nice. We actually talked about this on Discord. I believe it was Saturday. I jumped on Discord and talked to a bunch of people. And remember, we do have a Discord for you guys to find other people to chat with. So, Rashitha, I hope that you're doing great. Yeah, and anyone else who joins, please say hi so I know that you're there. Again, as always, these are the 4 steps to improve your speaking. We're not going to go over them because you can read them yourself. By the way, you can read everything that I'm typing today. If you guys look at the channel, if you look in the description of this video, you guys can see the document. Please let me know if you can't access it. But again, just right here, you just click this link, it opens up and you can see everything that I will type today for your leisure. And you can always go back yourself. This link is always open. Thank you, Internet. Also, please make sure that you guys are live so that you are watching with the rest of us. Last live stream, there were a lot of people who were answering questions that I asked a long time in the past. To make sure that you are with us, make sure you are live. All right, let's get started. As always, reading is the best way to build your vocab. Use a learner's dictionary. You learn the best when you're reading, and try to learn collocations and sentence frames to make sure that you're using the words correctly. A lot of students have the problem where they learn a new word, but they don't know how to use it. And so when they're speaking or they're writing, they use it in the wrong way, and it hurts their vocab score. So again, reading is the best way to do that. I see a fox has joined us. Wonderful. Someone's clicked the link. Nice. Rashitha says, I am good and we don't have a holiday. I'm sorry. So I'm going to rub my holiday in your face. Haha. I have a holiday and you don't. I hope that you have your next holiday soon. So let's get started. I only want to spend about 10 minutes here. Hello, Satori. Welcome. Happy to see you. I don't think I've seen you before, so welcome. What we're going to do first is just come up with vocabulary that is basic. This is, in English teaching, this is called building schema. It's making you guys think of words that you already know about the target vocabulary, about companies in this situation. And then when you learn new words, because you are connecting it to old words, you have a better memory of it. So first thing I want you to do is come up with basic words that you know that would describe a company. Maybe if you know a famous company like Google or Microsoft or Apple. I just stole all the easy ones from you, haha. Yeah, basic company vocabulary, different aspects, and different facilities. Of course, after we go over the basic stuff in about 10 minutes, then we'll go into coming up with questions that we might see on the IELTS exam and coming up with really good answers using higher level vocab. So, Amazon, nice, Rositha. I thought I took all the easy ones. By the way, what I recommend is don't just learn, this is having a wide breadth of knowledge, you know a lot of words, but going deep is also important. So for example, Amazon is a home is a company that specializes in e-commerce and deliveries. Okay. Apple is a company that specializes in what? Can anyone finish this for me? Yeah. So also come up with more basic vocabulary. Rashitha, thank you so much for saying Amazon. That was fantastic. If you guys could finish this sentence as well. This, by the way, is what I would call a sentence frame. It's a high-level vocab, high-level grammar, where maybe you don't know all the words. Maybe you wouldn't normally say this, but this is the correct way to say it. A native speaker told you this is the correct way to say it, and so you learn this set phrase, and then you can change it for a lot of different situations, and you can trick the examiner. Maybe your grammar and vocab isn't that high level, but then you have this high level 7 sentence, and you trick the examiner. You make them give you a higher score. Sentence frames are great for that. So is a company that specializes in is a great sentence frame. Hi Raghav, welcome. Happy to see you. And thanks again for stopping by on Saturday. I loved chatting with you and the others about your guys' cultures. That was great. So yeah, right now, come up with basic vocab for describing companies, different aspects of companies, or more famous companies. This is for you guys. This is a class. It's best when you guys are active. Again, Rashitha is in the lead right now, being the awesome person who said the first one. Let's see if you guys can come up with any more. Famous companies, basic vocab about companies, or describing aspects of companies. So let me come up with some basic vocab while you guys think of the other ones. Let's see, if I'm going to describe a company, what are some collocations? A massive multinational company. A terrible company to work for. And this doesn't have to be collocations. We could also talk about like different roles, like the founder of the company was Elon Musk. Ooh, a lot of people hate Musk, a lot of people love Musk. You guys can tell me in chat which ones you prefer. So come on guys, give me some more. Rasitha, do you have another one for me? Satori, don't worry, this is a safe place. Just give me some words. And Rykab, same for you. And again, we're not going to spend more than maybe 10 minutes here. So another 5, and then we'll move on to the fun IELTS speaking vocab stuff. Tesla, Rashitha got it. Do you guys like Elon Musk? Or do you guys think that he's weird? In America, it's very divided. Some people really hate Elon Musk, and some people love him. Hello, Van Tran. Welcome. Happy to see you. Can you give me some vocab? Yeah. All right, all right. Any more basic vocab? Any more famous companies? And maybe you guys could tell me a famous company from your own country. I don't know that many famous companies outside of America. Yeah, so if you guys could tell me, if you're from Japan, Toyota is a super famous one. Hyundai is a famous one from Korea. It doesn't have to be an American company. It just has to be a famous company. Can you guys tell me any more? And maybe also what they specialize in? So for example, Apple is a company that specializes in high-end consumer electronics. They are most famous for their cell phones. Or I guess we can just say their iPhones, since it is their iPhones. That specializes because it's one company. Yes. By the way, I do want to highlight this for you guys. A lot of people make mistakes with electronics versus, what do people say? Electricity. There are other words that people confuse with electronics. Electronics are things that you have. So I hope that this helps. VinFast. I have never heard of VinFast. Ooh. Van Tran, do you want a VinFast motorbike? That's fantastic. VinFast is a company that specializes in high-tech motorbikes. So is this like a high-tech motorcycle? Or is it a scooter? I actually have never heard of VinFast, so I'd love to see what they are. Let's go to images. Whoa, these are some fancy cars. Okay. It looks like they're not only motorcycles. Okay, so I would probably say, instead of you could say high tech, but high tech means like it uses a lot of technology. So like Tesla cars are very famous for being very high tech. There's a lot of electronics in their car. High end might be better. I don't know, because I don't know Vintran. So I am going to change this a little bit just in case, because again, I don't know the company. Maybe you guys could fill me in. Is a company that specializes in high-end vehicles, like cars and motorcycles. Okay, cool. So high-end means, thank you for asking, Vantran, this is fantastic. High-end means that it is very valuable. So it's the opposite of cheap. So maybe you would get a cheap Android phone. That may be a phone that was only like $100, $100 or less. Or you could get a high-end phone, which is a lot more expensive and a lot higher quality. So that was a great question, Vantran. Thanks. Hi, bye. Welcome. Long time no see. Happy to see you. Yes. Okay. So let's do a few more company basics and then maybe also different aspects of a company. I know that these two are a little bit trickier and I do want to spend some time on them. Hello, Naz. Welcome. Long time no see. Oh man, all the regulars from the old days. This is fantastic. You guys must all be really bored to come and see the vocab live stream. Thank you for coming and spending time with us. Yes. Thanks. Okay. So, any more company basic vocabulary? Any words that you know that are basic that would deal with companies? A successful company? A famous company? These are just basic adjectives. So if you guys know any, feel free to say them. A terrible company to work for? Is this anyone's job right now? Let me give you a sentence to use it as well. Foxconn is famous for being a terrible company to work for. And of course, you can change this to your own job if you want, or your own company. Oh man, we've got some good ones. Multinational corporations. Nice. And that's, yeah. Multinational corporation. And corporation is another way to say company. They are synonyms. Thanks for pointing that out. This is a little bit higher level. You can't always use it with company, but most of the time you can. So that's a great one. And Facebook. Rashitha, nice. How did I forget Facebook? And I think I misspelled Hyundai. Yep, there's an I at the end. By the way, I just watched a really, really good, speaking of Hyundai and Korea, I watched a really good TV show on Netflix this holiday where it's called Squid Games. It's quite violent, so if you don't like violence, you shouldn't watch it, but it was a really, really good show. It's called Squid Games. I'll put that at the bottom. Mike recommends Squid Game. Okay. And this is a Korean drama. So obviously this won't help you with your English, but if you're looking for something to watch, highly recommend it. Okay. Ooh, a family business. And Alibaba. This is great. So I'll put this up here. Alibaba. Alibaba has actually come under fire recently. Ooh, these are some good ones. Alibaba has recently what come under fire? Nope. Underwater, treading water. Has run into some problems. Okay, sorry. I had a really good one, but then I said come under fire, which was also good, and I forgot which one I was originally going to say. Okay, these are good. A family business, that's also fantastic. And I'll put this up here as another option from company. A family business. It's a family business. Nice. A respectable business. How did I forget that one? A respectable business. Nice. An e-commerce company. That is a good synonym for, that is a good collocation with company. Yes. You guys are on fire now. I love it. An e-commerce company. Nike, Adidas, they specialize in making shoes. Rashitha, you nailed it. That is exactly how you use that that sentence. And we are running out of room, so after I put these up, we are going to move to the actual fun stuff that you guys are all here for. A medium-sized company, another nice one. A high-earning businessman or company. A high-earning business. That's okay. I don't know why it sounds a little weird. We would actually normally say a profitable business. A highly profitable business. This is actually what we would say instead of high earning. A high earning businessman is okay. Ooh, business rival. I like that. And again, if I'm going through this quite quickly, I hope you guys see this as a nice resource that you guys can go back and study. But of course, if you guys want me to tell you the meaning of a word, this is also the time for that too. Out of business. Oh, bye. So bad. So sad. So let me put in a sentence. Sorry. They went out of business last year. Again, I want to give you guys full sentences so that you guys know how to use it. You guys may have some trouble with out of business, so I gave you this sentence. If you guys want more sentences, of course, I can give you more as well. But yeah, a medium-sized business. So a business rival would be, usually it's a bit more personal. Who's your business rival? It's like what companies are fighting against you. So they sell the same product, and they're a different company. So Toyota and Hyundai are rivals. Yes. Okay. Yeah, this is great. Let me put Rashitha's up here because, again, that was fantastic. And medium-sized business. Asthma. That is a good one. And firm. That is another one. A multinational corporation, a multinational firm. Multifaceted international firm. So I'm going to put this up here, Asma. Thank you so much for putting this. Now, I do want to point something out here. You guys see here multifaceted. Now, the way that Asma used this is 100% correct. You can say a multifaceted international firm. But you've got to make sure that you know what multifaceted means. Otherwise, you may be describing something that isn't multifaceted. Multifaceted is a very high level word. This would be a level 8 word. And so what I'm trying to say is don't use a word unless you know it's the right situation to use it, even if it's high level. Because there's a chance that you're going to use it and the examiner's going to listen to you and be like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So, Asma, if you want to use this in a sentence to describe a multifaceted international firm, go ahead and I'll tell you if you've got it or not. And if you do have it, fantastic. Your English is great. But for everyone who's seeing multifaceted for the first time, don't only learn words because you know that they're high level. Learn words because they're appropriate to use. You know when the right time to use it. That's why I'm putting this under basic vocab, because most of the things here are things that you can use in everyday English to show a specific thing, to use the vocab appropriately, but also at a high level. All right. Thank you so much, Asmo, for putting that up there. And it's time to move on. Yes, competitors in business is correct. Business rival is a business competitor. Fantastic. Nice. Okay. And medium-sized company, I wanted to put that into and then Rashitha, and then we'll move on down below. Nice. Okay. By the way, guys, thank you for coming out. I hope you guys are having a great night, and I hope you guys are staying safe. If you're in Taiwan or Asia, I hope you're having a good moon festival. That's what we've got right now. I had Monday and Tuesday off, which was fantastic. Okay. Let me find Rashitha's. It was really good. Nike and Adidas. They specialize in making shoes. Perfect. So let me get rid of this comma. Are companies that specialize in making shoes. Perfect. All right, guys, let's move on down to the fun bit now that we've got a bunch of people. A workaholic. Yes, someone who works too much. Okay. So we're not going to spend too much time on verbs or writing, because I know you guys mostly want to focus on listening. I do want to have one note here for task 1. You may need to describe a man-made process. And this could be a company. So learning the vocabulary for describing a company, like the workflow of a company. So this would be marketing, sales, production, or manufacturing. What would it be? Quality control, packaging. Knowing these words and knowing how to use them and what they mean will help you in a writing task 1, where you may need to describe the workflow of a company, how a product is designed, how it's prototyped, and then going through it. So I'm just throwing these up here so that you guys can look at them on your own time. If you guys need me to explain what any of them are, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, no problem, Asma. Happy to help. And Raghav's like part 1, 2, and 3. That's exactly where we're going. By the way, Van Tran, workflow is like the process. So, for example, in a manufacturing company, first the designers design a product, and then the product is prototyped. So they make a prototype of the product. And then after that, they will fix the product to make sure that it's okay. They'll do some tests to make sure that it's a product that's worth selling. Then they'll manufacture the product or make the product, and then they'll test the quality of the product, and then they will package the product and ship it. So that's the workflow of a manufacturing company. Different companies may have different workflows. So an accounting firm, it may be very different, but that's workflow. It's the process that is done in the company. All right, great question, Vantran. But I can see that Raghav is very eager for part 1, 2, and 3. We are going to spend some time on part 2 today, just because this topic, it's very likely that you will see something similar in part 2. There may be a few part 1 questions. There will definitely be part 3 questions, but companies are more abstract, so part 1 is not so much. It's more part 2 and part 3. So let's get started. A lot of you guys have been here before. Some of you guys are new. The first thing we do is I ask you guys to come up with questions that you think you would see in speaking part 1 about companies. Just to give you one example, there's a little bit of overlap here with work. What do you like about your company? Have you ever worked at a famous company? So what we're doing is just brainstorming questions. After that, we will spend some time together answering questions, fixing them, and I will give you some high level ones, and then we'll move on to part 2, do the same thing, and then part 3. So I don't want to spend more than 7 minutes on this part. So what I need you guys to do right now is focus. Give me some questions in chat. Tell me some speaking part 1 questions. Remember, speaking part 1 is about you and your experiences. So your experiences with companies. Again, we're not going to spend too long here. It will be more on part 2 and part 3 for companies. All right, and Naz. Oh, I'm sorry that writing task 2 is horrible for you sometimes. And you're very lucky that writing task 1 is easy. Writing task 1 is always going to be easier, mostly because a lot of the time there are sentence frames you can learn to describe the data in a graph. And if you learn those sentence frames, it will be easy. If you know the 6 to 10 sentences to describe a line chart, you're going to do fine. If you know how to describe a bar chart or a static chart or a change over time using maps, it's really easy when you know the sentence frames. But if you have to describe a process, this is where a sentence frame will not help you. Which is why I'm giving you guys this vocabulary to look into and make sure you know. All right. But again, as you're lucky, writing part 1 is so easy for you. Okay. So, can you guys give me some speaking part 1? Again, I want maybe 5 questions. We'll answer a few of them, and then we'll move on. But I do need you guys to help me out. Give me some questions, guys. Ooh. I like that one. Fantastic, Vantran. Are there many companies in your neighborhood? Nice. And then similar to this would be, what kind of companies are present in your neighborhood? Are present, you could also say are found in your neighborhood. Really good, Vantran. Ooh, I like that one. And hello, Karan, welcome. Do you prefer to work in a big company or a small one? This is great. Asma, that's also great. How do you balance your work and your personal life? Ah, I like that. That's tough. Okay. And what attracts you in a company? Headleg, that's perfect. In a company. Okay. Or similar to this is, what is important to you when looking for a job / company? Okay, nice. these are all fantastic. Again, just really fast for anyone who is watching in the past, please do make sure that you are not watching the playback. Make sure you guys are watching live so that you're present during the class and get the most out of it. But these are great. We're not going to get any more. What I want you guys to do is give some of your own answers. And then if there's any of these that you want me to answer, please also say, Michael, please answer this question. Also, when you are writing your answer, please make sure that you tell me which question you are doing. Again, you can see which ones, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see what they are by just clicking the document link right here. So I'm going to give you guys maybe 1 or 2 minutes just to answer 1 or 2 of these, and then we'll move on to part 2 and part 3. But I find these really interesting questions. You guys came up with some great ones. Yeah, I love it. Give me some answers. And yeah, I'm going to throw some more of these on. Armin, that's a good one. Which company do you hate the most? The one that I'm currently working in. I'll write that as an answer just because it's funny. Yes. And do you like your boss or colleagues? And Bai wants me to answer this one, so I will. I also see one more from Van Tran. I'm going to modify that one a little bit, Van Tran, to make it because they won't name a specific company. So, is there a famous company located in your hometown? Okay. But do you like your boss or colleagues? Absolutely not. They are I have a business partner named Phil who is absolutely terrible to work with. Let me see. What other bad things can I say about Phil? He is always bothering me to get my work done on time. Oh, so terrible. He always wants to meet so that we can be productive. And he is always pushing me to be better. I hate it. I just want to sit around and be lazy. So as you can see, Phil is terrible to work with. You can tell him that during the Friday live stream. If you want a more normal answer, let me give one to you. Do you like your boss or colleagues? I love them. They are all super friendly and nice. If I ever have a question, they are eager to help me out. Okay, so there's 2 things I want to point out here. If I ever have a question, this is using an if clause, which is nice, higher level grammar. And then they are eager to help me out. Eager to help is a nice little phrase that I hope you guys pick up and use yourself. Okay, it looks like Naz has an answer as well, so let's go over this one. Naz, can you quickly tell me which one were you answering? Visiting a company. So I'm going to add a question up here. Naz, if you could just quickly... Okay, the first one. I see what you're doing. Okay. Have you ever... But you inspired me to put one more up here. Visited a famous company. Nice. And let me just throw Naz's up here so we can go over it together. Naz, thank you so much for being brave and putting this up here. Fantastic. Favorite student right now. along with Rashitha for being the first person in and helping me out in the beginning. And there was another person who I was very happy to see. Yes. You guys are all awesome super students, but right now, Naz and Rashitha are my favorites. Okay. So we're just going to fix up the punctuation a little bit. I do want to point out, please make sure on the real test that you have your commas correct and your punctuation correct. You need a space after commas. You need a space after periods. If you don't do that, it will lower your score. I'm a uni student. I know Naz probably typed this on her phone, and that's why there's these mistakes, which is perfectly fine right now. But I know a lot of students give me homework where they have the punctuation problems. They forget the space, and it makes me think that they'll do that on the exam, and that will lower their score. Yeah, but let's take a look. And by the way, the names of companies should be capital. Awesome. Actually, at the moment, I'm a uni student. Nice, you're directly answering it. I didn't get the chance to visit any company yet. So we are going to change this a little bit. I haven't gotten. Because you're talking about your life experience. The chance to visit any companies yet. However, I really, really want to work in a large multinational corporation. Nice. I love the vocab here. I'm looking forward to getting employment. Employment is okay. Employed would be a little bit better. Getting employed at Google. Ooh, aiming high, Naz. I like it. Yes. Okay. I also wished that I could work at Google. I've heard that they get free food. So that my phone just started talking to me because I said the word Google. Okay. So nice, Naz, fantastic. Let's keep going though. Van Tran, we'll do Van Tran's other one, and then we will yes, of course, Van Tran, happy to connect that question. So we'll do Van Tran's. If anyone else wants to throw one up, that's okay. But after this, we will be moving to part 3, which I know is what you guys are most excited for. Okay, so Van Tran. All right, Van Tran, I'm liking it so much. Let me just put that over here. Okay. Give me just 1 second to fix the little things. Well, I am extremely into my company, which I'm working as an employee now. So I'm going to change this just to be a little bit more natural to where I'm working at the moment, or now is also okay. Actually, it is just a medium-sized one, like many companies in my hometown, but it is really impressively, but it has a really impressively homely atmosphere. I remember this from last Tuesday. Nice one, Van Tran, using vocab from earlier. I like that a lot. You are now also a favorite student. Fantastic. And my colleagues are friendly, enthusiastic, and passionate. You need the adjective about their current jobs. In addition, so I'm glad that you put this in. I am having a good salary. Now, this is the only part that we really need to fix. The rest of it is quite good, aside from the present perfect, and even that was minor. So in addition, I am having a good salary now. This is not quite the right phrasing that we want to use. In addition, I get a pretty good salary from them. Okay. honestly, I get a pretty good salary is the best thing to say. The reason why I say from them is just for CC reasons. We need to connect our ideas. And we're talking about the company where you're working now. And the reason why you like them is because they're giving you a good salary. So I get a pretty good salary from them is good. I get a pretty good salary. This is the way that you should talk about your pay. I get a pretty good salary. The salary is not bad. Isn't bad. Or you could say is quite nice. Okay. Is quite competitive. This is the most polite way to say it, and it's quite high level. If you say that the salary is quite competitive, that means that you're getting a high salary, but you're not saying I'm getting a high salary. All right. And now we're going to move on to part 3. So Van Tran, thank you so much for this. These were great, ladies. Let's move on down to part 3. And we will go up and do part 2 today. I see that, I believe that was Rashitha already has a nice one here. So is high salary important? Okay. So is a high salary important? That is really important for the grammar. Make sure that you say it. Yes. So right now, just like before, I want you guys to start giving me speaking part 3 vocabulary. Speaking part 3 questions. Now remember, part 1 questions are about you and your experience. Part 3 are always going to be about the abstract topic of companies. So is a high salary important? This is not talking about to you. This is talking about to people in general. So I'm going to have another question here just to make sure. Would most people say that having or getting a high salary is the most important factor when choosing a job? Now, obviously, these two questions are different. They have different answers. But the reason why I said this one was because I want to show you guys it's not about you. In general, would most people say this? Okay, so please give me some questions that I can copy and paste up here. And while I'm doing that, I will answer Armand's. Armand, thank you so much for being brave and putting yours out here. That's great. And I'm sorry, Van Tran, that it doesn't attract great companies. Maybe you can start your own company. Be an entrepreneur. Start your own company. And then it may become the next Alibaba. Is it easy to find a job in your country? Nice. This is a good one. Give me some more part 3s, guys. Why do some people want to start their own business? Nice. I like that one. This is a good one. This is a good conversation starter. Okay. And then just keep giving me more speaking part 3. In the meantime, I am going to spend a little bit of time working on Armand since he was brave enough to put his answer up here. It looks like Armand's answer is going to be for part 2, so I'm just going to put it up here. I know many workplaces in and around my hometown, such as industries, banks, and educational institutions. Okay. So Armand, I do want to point something out. When you said this makes me think that you were going to do a part 2 speaking, but I'm pretty sure that you actually wrote this to answer one of the part 1 questions. So I'm going to put it up here, and I'm going to change some of the words to make it clear that this is part 1 and not part 2. So Armand was answering this one. What kind of Are there many companies, or what kind of companies are present in your neighborhood? Okay. Okay. So this detail is not actually a great detail here, because it's not really a detail connected to this question. The first part of your answer is wonderful. So I'm going to keep that, because your first part of your answer does directly connect to it. What kind of companies are present or found in your neighborhood? I know of many workplaces in and around my hometown, such as industries, banks, and educational institutions. There are several restaurants found right around my apartment building, and only a few blocks away there are several banks and 2 schools. Okay, I want to point out that this is a better detail connecting to your first sentence than this one is. This sentence, because here I'm going to talk about, this makes me think you're about to introduce a part 2 topic. And this would be really good for part 2. But to keep it in part 1, you say the answer, which you did, and then make sure you have a supporting detail that's directly connected to it. All right, let's go back down to part 3. And again, Armand, thank you so much for putting that forward. I hope you found that helpful. So I think I saw a few more questions and some people answering it. Oh man, you guys are on top of it. Let me just put these all out, because there are so many. Why do young people want to work for a large company? Because it's safe. What are the differences between large and small companies? Small companies feel like they care about you. Large companies don't give you that feeling, but they have better security and more resources. Do you think which is better? So let me change this. Which is better, to go into a big company or into a small company for a job? Okay. This is fine. This sounds a little bit like a part 1 question, but I can also see it as part 3. They will sometimes ask your opinion in part 3, and so you need to be able to hear those words. So let me change this a little bit. Some people say that it is better to go into a big company instead of a small company for a job. What do you think? Okay, so I hope that this shows this is probably how they would format it. They'll give you a view and then they'll ask your opinion. Okay, sometimes that does show up. All right, by the way, you guys came up with so many great questions. I'm just answering them very quickly. I know I'm speaking quickly as well, but I want to start seeing your answers. So please take some time, guys, and start answering these. Again, just tell me which one you are answering. You guys might have heard that I'm quickly giving answers to each of these questions. It's to be funny, but also to give you some direct answers. So remember, this is a live stream. So at any point after we stop, you guys can always go back and listen again. And I hope you find that useful and interesting. You guys are on top of it in chat. Thank you so much for all these. Please take some time and start answering a few of these. So what kind of facilities do you think are important to a company? Nice. A good follow-up question, because remember, there are follow-up questions. Are these any different from the facilities that the staff think are important? So remember, a follow-up question will always push you. So what kind of facilities do you think are important to a company? Definitely the location so that they can get the most customers. Facilities. They need to make sure that they have the equipment they need for the jobs. So in manufacturing, this might be industrial machines to make the product. And then, are these any different from the facilities the staff think are important? Definitely. The company just wants to make money, but the staff want to be comfortable. So of course there will be some differences. For example, the staff may prefer better lighting in the warehouses or in the factory. They may prefer more comfortable flooring so that it's easier when they're standing all day, compared to the company that may want the floor to be as cheap as possible. So there are definitely differences between what the company thinks is important and what the staff thinks is important. Okay, I hope you guys weren't too overwhelmed by the answer. Remember, you can always go back and listen again. I hope you do. It gives us watch time. Okay, what does the leader need to do in a small company when the business fails? Oh my goodness. This is a great question. I hope someone answers it, but it's very dark. Why is the business failing? Okay, what are the challenges people face when they try to open a company? Whoa, I love these. These are fantastic questions. Really interesting to talk about, actually. Why is Facebook so famous for people of all ages? This could be a part 3 question, but is it connected to companies? Yeah, it's connected to companies. I can see that. Facebook is a company. Okay, and please, at all ages was actually fine there. Yeah. Please start answering these questions yourselves, guys. I'm just going to keep copying and pasting these over. If you need to mute me because I'm being too loud and you can't think, that's okay. Do you think the causes for the success of a family... What do you think the causes... Okay. For the success of a family business are? What are the factors that determine whether or not a family business is successful? I get what you were trying to say. This is not the easiest way to rephrase it, but it's the first to come to mind. Okay. Man, these are all fantastic. I can't wait to see your answers. I hope you guys start putting your answers up. And let me just keep throwing these down. Please give me some of your answers. I'm not going to go over all of these, just the ones you guys want me to. So companies depend on franchises. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by this. In the largest companies. Okay. So I don't think that there are companies that depend on franchises. A franchise is a business model. So why do some companies decide to become franchises? By the way, if you don't know what a franchise is, in many countries, not all countries, but in many countries, McDonald's is a franchise. And what that means is that all the different McDonald's are owned by different people, but they have the McDonald's name. This is different from direct ownership. Why would they choose not to directly own everything? So directly owning everything is the opposite of a franchise. A franchise means you let someone use your name and sell your product and make the profit themselves, and they pay you a fee. So if anyone wants me to continue to describe what a franchise is, I can. It is a nice word, but you got to make sure you understand what it is in a business sense. Okay. These are great. Please start giving me your answers, guys. As I throw the rest of these down, because these are fantastic. Asma, great one. Should companies promote competition? Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm just going to quickly put the rest of these down so that we can go over it, so we can choose some to go over. The ones that we will go over are the ones that you guys choose to answer. So, don't worry. I will also answer some if you guys want me to. You guys can tell me which ones you want me to answer. But first, I want you guys to try it yourself. And Rashitha, that is another really important thing. Word of mouth is the best way to market your product. It really is the best way to market your product because it's free. Why do many startups fail? After some time. Because people don't know what they're doing. Okay. Yeah, I'd be happy to answer that, Naz. But let's finish part 3 first, and then we'll go over to part 2. Okay, it looks like Van Tran has the first one. Van Tran, if you could very quickly tell me which one you are answering. And like I said, these are great questions. Just tell me which ones you want to answer, and yeah. Also, don't forget, if you're only watching the stream, you guys can also click the link right here, open it up, and then scroll down to the bottom, and you guys can see where we are working. Just right here. You can see all of it at the end. Okay. Van Tran, please let me know which one you are doing, and then we'll take a look at them. And of course, Naz, I will give you some speaking part 2 if you guys stick around. I know we're at the end of the hour. We're probably going to only spend another 10-20 minutes here. Thank you guys for sticking around so long if you have. Okay. So again, Van Tran, which one are you answering? I can see... okay, I know which one you're answering. Okay, let me throw this down for you. So Van Tran is answering the question, do you think academic education is more important than experience in the field? And then after Van Tran, we'll look at Rashitha's and then Naz. And anyone can be putting their answers up here. Happy to help everyone who's here. So do you think academic education is more important than experience in the field? So first of all, off the top of my head is the phrase we want to use. Off the top of my head. Yes, off the top of my head. Experience in business is considered as crucial as academic knowledge because entrepreneurs spelling. Yes, there's a U and 4 E's. Entrepreneurs must have enough essential knowledge to run a company in the right way. For example, things must be avoided to make sure your company will not go bankrupt. Okay. A few things here, Van Tran. This is Van Tran, right? Yeah. Off the top of my head is not actually being used correctly here. Same with entrepreneurs. So a lot of people get confused, especially with the word entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is a person who starts a business. We usually use entrepreneur when we're talking about a person right when they're starting a business. If their business becomes successful, we call them a founder. So we only really use it if they have just recently started it or you want to focus on the fact that they started a company. Just to give you guys an example, a serial entrepreneur. Do you guys know a serial killer? Does anyone know the word serial killer? Can anyone tell me what that means? A serial killer is someone who kills lots of people. Many, many people. So a serial entrepreneur, does anyone know what that means? A person who continually starts businesses. They start a business, then sell it, then start another business. So that's what a serial entrepreneur is. So I hope that this shows you guys how to use the word entrepreneur correctly. Because this is a really common thing for people, where they just assume that an entrepreneur is a business person. I'm not saying that this was Van Tran's mistake, but I did want to point it out because it is a very common mistake. Also, off the top of my head, I know why you're trying to use it. This is a nice signaling word that says that you're thinking. We usually use it. We wouldn't use it with this type of question. So do you think academic education is more important than experience in the field? Your answer should be direct to that, so you wouldn't be saying off the top of my head. We would use off the top of my head if you were going to list many things and just the first thing that came to mind. So off the top of my head is used when it's the first thing that you think of. Why do you like Teacher Michael's classes? Off the top of my head, it's because he's handsome, his voice is very soothing, and he's just the best teacher in the world. So off the top of my head here is just saying things that you just thought of. So we wouldn't really use it here. One last thing that I want to point out before I give my own answer here. A lot of people, in a lot of different cultures, so this is definitely a cultural thing. Not all cultures are the same. In Western culture, we're very confrontational. Like, we do not have problems disagreeing with other people. If you tell us, do we like apples or bananas? We will tell you, I love apples, bananas suck. Like, we are aggressive and confrontational. We are not afraid of a fight. We are not afraid of disagreeing. In a lot of other cultures, disagreeing or choosing one side very strongly is not seen as a good thing. I see this especially in a lot of Southeast Asian cultures. For example, when I was in China and even here in Taiwan, choosing one answer very strongly is not seen as a good thing. And so what I want you guys to always remember is that this is an English test, and so try to be a fat, ugly, angry American. Channel your inner American, okay? Be confrontational, say your opinion, be clear, and say why the other side is stupid. Just like a real American would do. So, to answer this, do you think academic education is more important than experience in the field? I strongly disagree with this. I think that experience is more important in most cases. There are so many examples of people who did well in school, but then failed in their field because they didn't have the relevant experience. Okay. So the thing that I really want to point out here is more. When you're answering this question, and this is for anyone, you need to say which is more important. The answer down here was, it's not really saying which is more important. So be direct. I think experience is more important in most cases. Okay. Thank you, Van Tran, for putting this forward. Thank you so much for putting it forward. Yeah, let's keep going. I'm sorry to spend so much time on one person, but these things are really common mistakes. So I do want to point them out for everyone who's watching. Okay. Yes. Let's move on to Rasitha's about salary. Okay. Is a high salary important? And Rasitha's like, obviously. That's the only thing I care about. So, is a high salary important? Yes. A high salary is very important. Money, of course. So we need a verb. Money, of course, is the most important motivation to work. Hey, it's just like my joke said. But sometimes it is okay to get a job one loves, even if the salary is a bit less. So the grammar is okay, the vocab is okay, the logic, let's look at it. You said that a high salary is very important. This is nice. It directly answers the question. Your second is saying why this is true. Great connection. Why are you disagreeing with yourself? See, this is another really common thing that I see. Make sure that your details always connect to each other strongly, or if you want to be safe, don't say the details that contradict yourself. We need to add some words to fix this, to fix the logic here. Yes, a high salary is very important. We can change the topic sentence to fix this problem. Yes, a high salary is very important, but it is not always the most important thing. Okay, I need to change my topic sentence so that it connects with my second point. The other option that you could have done is just delete the second point. Yes, so I do want to make this clear because, again, this is a really common mistake. Thank you, Rasitha, so much for putting this forward. Okay, and let's do Naz. Okay. Raghav is like, rough topic. Yeah. Yeah, it is. But you guys are doing great. Thank you so much for putting these up. And I hope you guys find this useful. Even if you're hiding, even if you're lurking in the background, I hope that you guys are able to learn from this and find it useful. And Naz, can you tell me really fast, which one were you answering? In my opinion, working in a large company would be a win-win. He gets a handsome salary. Ooh, handsome salary is a nice collocation. Okay. Let me just make sure. Let me find where she is. Which question she's answering. So it's talking about a large company. Is it comparing? Or is it just the large company? Sorry guys, I just need to find it. Again guys, can you please let me know which question you're answering when you put your answer up? Okay. Alright, Naz, I can't quite see the one that I thought you were answering, so I'm going to put it to one of the ones that are adjacent, kind of similar to the one that you were answering, which is... Okay, this one. Okay, the question says, some people say that it is better to go into a big company instead of a small company for a job. What do you think? So then she says, in my opinion, working in a large company would be a win-win situation for a person. He gets a handsome salary, and again, a handsome salary is a fantastic collocation. I want to point this out so people steal it. Remember, stealing is okay here. He gets a handsome salary at the same time. He gets a handsome salary. at the same time, he also gets exposure to handle the problems present in his chosen field at a large scale. Okay. This is a little bit weak because you still need to tie it into why it's a win. Some people say, oh, it's good to get exposure, but you need to say why this is a benefit. So, in my opinion, working in a large company would be a win-win situation for a person. He gets a handsome salary. That is a win. That is 100% a win. At the same time, he also gets exposure to handle the problems present in his chosen field at a large scale. This will help him to, when he is applying, when he is going for higher paying positions / jobs. Okay, this is a win. Okay, make sure that when you're saying your benefits, when you're saying the good things, that they are 100% benefits. Remember, English listeners are stupid. You need to make the connections. They do not make the connections themselves. I'm sorry that you have to talk to such stupid English speakers, but it is true. That is how we are. We are very low context. Okay. Yeah. And then Rashitha has the next one. No, definitely not easy. Obviously, there's a lot of competition in jobs due to the popularity of the country. Okay, Rashitha. I see the one that you were saying. Is it easy to find a job in your country? Okay. And I'm just going to do a few more. I'm sorry if I don't get to everyone, but I do want to spend a little bit of time on speaking test 2 beforehand. So, is it easy to find a job in your country? No, definitely not easy. Nice direct answer. I love it. Okay. Obviously, there is a lot of competition in getting jobs. For the jobs here, due to the population of the country. The population of the country. Due to the population of the country. The population of the country. Due to the large population of the country. Okay. No, it's okay. High population. The large population of the country. Yep. This is a little bit... Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. There could be a better detail that you can use, but this one is actually okay by itself. Okay. And then Asma has one. But Asma, did you delete it? Why do people start their own business? Okay. Why do people... I just read Raghav's comment. Serial can be used with a lot of words. Yes. Okay, so why do people start their own businesses for Asma? People who start their own business. All right, let's take a look at this. Asma, I think this is good. Let's take a look. Why do some people want to start their own business? People. Okay. People who start up a small business are those who are freedom seekers. Guys, I want to point this out. This is a fantastic sentence frame. I really want to point out the frame that you can use. People who blah are those who blah. This is a fantastic sentence frame. If you can learn this and then change the first part, change the middle part, and then change the last part, it will give you a very high grammar and vocab score. again, I want to point this one out, is beautiful. Try to steal this sentence frame. It's great. Asma, thank you so much for this. It helps to be self-mentor for schedule. Probably motivated. Self-motivated. So self-motivated, it helps them. Okay. So we're going to change this to this, because being a freedom seeker, this helps them to be self-motivated when making schedules and following their career path. Unlike working under someone, they can set, deadlines for themselves. Okay. Unlike people working under someone else, these people can set deadlines for themselves. Is that the end, Armand? Yes, I think that's the end. Okay. Armand. Sorry, this is not Armand. This is Asma. Okay. Asma. Fantastic opening. Wonderful first sentence. Fantastic. I love it. Other people listening, steal this sentence. However, the question is, why do some people want to start their own businesses? It's because they are freedom seekers, yes, but all of these details are not really saying why they want to start their business. They aren't directly connected to the question, which is, why do people want to do this? Let me give an answer here to kind of show you what I mean. So why do some people want to start their own business? There are several reasons for this. First of all, many of them don't like being told what to do, and when they own their own business, they can be their own boss. Second, they get to keep all the profits from their work. Unlike normal employees who are always making money for the business owner. Let's see. Is there a third reason? Third, many of them can set their own schedule, which gives them a lot of freedom that people who work 9 to 5 with 10 sick days don't have. Okay. So, first of all, I have a clear topic sentence. Just like in writing task 2, this is what I recommend. Have a clear topic sentence in your answer. It will help you focus. It will help make sure that you don't go off topic. Okay? I have a CC word saying my first one. And again, they can be their own boss. This is why they want it. They want to be their own boss. Again, second, we have another CC word, connecting our ideas, organizing our thoughts. They get to keep the profits from their work. This is the second reason people want to start their own business. This is just a detail, but again, it's explaining this point. Okay. And then third, many of them can set their own schedules. This is something that they get to do. It's a good thing. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So I hope that this made it easy for you to see Asma. And again, you can come back and look at this yourself in the document and steal what you like. And I hope that you found this useful. Okay. All right, Naz and William. Now, Naz, I think I've already answered one of yours. Yes. So I'm going to do Zawil's, and then we're going to move to part 3. These are great. Thank you so much for giving all these answers, but I do want to move to part 2 so that we can get some of that done. So I'm going to do Zawil. Hello, Zawil. Welcome. Is it okay to answer the question with "it depends"? Like, I have to say, it depends on which sector you work. Yes, you can. Just make sure that it's directly answering the questions, it will. If you have the intention to work in academia, for example, academic competence is crucial. Okay, yeah, that works fine. Let me go up to that one. And I believe it was right around here about academic education. Oh man, this was such a tough one. Okay. So, Zawil, let me put your answer up. It depends on the sector you want to work in. Fantastic. And then let me put the rest of your answer, and then we'll move over to part 2. Again, I'm sorry, Rashita and Naz, I know that you guys have 2 more questions you wanted me to check out, but I do want to spend some time in part 2 before I close this out. So I apologize for not getting to all of your answers. Thank you so much for coming up with those answers, though. So this is Zawil's. Let me move it back a little bit. Okay. It depends. Okay. It depends on which sector you want to work in. You work in a sector. If you have the intention to work in academia, for example, academic competence, I like this word, fantastic high-level word used correctly, is really crucial. Meanwhile, let's put a period here. I know it's speaking, so it doesn't matter so much, but I like to make sure that you guys see what punctuation should look like. Meanwhile, if you work in business or in a business or engineering field, I think the amount of experience that someone has are considerably... We're missing one word, Zawil. One word. Considerably more important. Oh no. It's just like before. It's that word. Make sure, guys, make sure if the question is asking you to compare them, make sure you compare them. So you're completely right, Zawil. This answer is direct. It's on point. It answers the question. It depends on which sector you work in. Great. Your first one is fine. You're comparing them. But your second one, you need to say that more important to make sure, to make it absolutely clear that it's a comparison. You're saying one is better than the other. Just to make it 100% clear so that no one's confused later, much more so than one's business experience. What is it? Practical experience. Now, this part right here, you didn't need to say, not 100%, but I'm putting it there so that you guys are always reminded. Make sure you put that comparison in. Okay. Now, guys, let's go and do that part 2 because I see we're losing people. It's hard to think in your second language for so long. I totally understand. I believe that it was Naz who had one for right here. Let me throw hers up. Okay. where was that part 2 question? If you guys would like to put your own part 2 questions in right now, this is the time. I can give you guys some answers here. So, speaking part 2, describe a company you like. You should say what it does, where it is, how you know about it, explain why you like it. Okay, just like last time, because you guys asked for it, I'm going to answer this myself in 2 minutes. And yeah, Naz is like, part 2, wow. We never get that. Okay, so yes. So I'm going to give you guys, because you guys asked for this last time, I'm going to make sure I give it to you this time. Describe a company that you like. I'm going to give you my own high-level answer for this with a 2-minute timer. And then after that, you guys can go back and listen as many times as you want. And if you have any questions, of course, you guys can ask me as well. So I'm going to describe a company that I like. So you asked me to describe a company that I like, and I'm going to tell you about Google. Okay, I'm sure you have heard of Google. It's a very, very famous company. Everyone uses Google and the Google products. I would definitely say that I am a huge Google fanboy. When most people think of Google, they think of the search engine, or maybe they think of Gmail, or maybe they know the phone operating system, the Android operating system for smartphones. But you know, I am such a huge fanboy that I have used all of their products. I used Gmail when it first came out. Of course, I used Google Maps, but I also used both of their social networking apps when they released them. I used Orkut, and I also used Google+. Of course, there were not many people on these apps, so it was very lonely on the social media app, but I still used them. I love Google. I actually don't even use Microsoft Word because I use Google Docs exclusively. I think the reason why I love Google so much is because so many of their products are free. Google Docs is free. Google Maps is free. Gmail is free. I know that they take my personal information, and that's how I pay for it. But it's still, I love that I get all these services without having to pay for it. It's great. Google's headquarters are in California. I forgot the city. It's in Silicon Valley. I know about Google because everyone knows about Google. If you ever search for any information, you've used Google. And yeah, Google itself, it's really interesting how they make money, actually. They take your personal information and then they sell it to advertisers. Okay, and that was 2 minutes. Thank you. All right, guys. So also describe the I'm sorry about the beeping. It took me a second to turn it off. You know what, Naz? It's really funny. Also, Rycap, I'll answer your question. Did I say surfaces? I don't think I said surfaces. I said Microsoft Services. Services, or Google Services. So, good catch, good question for pronunciation, Radcaf. I mean, it's not fair, Asma, because I'm a native speaker. I think in English. But that being said, the reason, so me and Phil say this, but not many people do it. We really want you guys to read for 20 minutes every day of a fun book below your level. We also want you guys to watch TV 20 to 40 minutes every day in English. And the reason is to get you guys comfortable in thinking in English. When you guys think in English, that's when everything clicks. So, of course, it looked easy. I'm a native speaker, but you guys can get here too. If you guys get to a point where you put English in your life, you watch TV every day, you read every day, on top of your studying for the IELTS exam, English will become so much easier for you. The only thing is, it takes work. You need to put in the effort to make that happen. So, also, Naz, it's really funny that you say that, Naz, for the, because the thumbnail, I was going to describe that building. So this is the extra content. And while I'm doing this, you guys can ask me questions about me, my life, or about IELTS, like any questions or comments or concerns or grammar, English grammar. I can answer any of those in this Q&A. But I'm going to do what Naz said, and she wanted me to describe the thumbnail, which I thought about doing. For this video, we have the thumbnail. Is there a way for me to see it? It looks like we're going to have to look at the tiny thumbnail. I apologize. But this is a building, and the arrow is pointing at the railing on the porch. So let me do that for you now. There are bars outside my windows to stop people from coming or going through them. There are iron bars installed outside my windows to stop thieves from sneaking in. I like to sit out on my balcony, though I don't sit too close to the edge because the railings never looked very sturdy. So, I hope you guys like these sentences. I think that they're pretty funny. I wanted to describe that picture last time, but I didn't have enough time to. So, I'm doing it now. Again, I'm describing right here. You can't see it because the thumbnail keeps flickering. But let me give one more sentence. Thank you, Nez. That's very kind of you. I just hope that you can give my brain back. But let me give you one more sentence for last time. About last Tuesday's video's thumbnail. And that is, I live on the top floor of an old 5-story townhouse. We have huge bay windows with a railing installed outside of them. Okay. Guys, you guys have been fantastic. Thank you for being here the whole time. I hope that you found this useful. I want to remind you guys, all of these questions are great. You guys can go and find people to chat with on Discord. Just please make sure you are respectful of your partners. Your partners are coming from all over the world, of all ages. So please make sure you stick to these questions when you're talking with them. But do talk with other people. Make a time. Go to Discord right now. Say hi. Anyone free on Thursday at 4? And then just talk about them. It's the best way to build fluency. These Tuesday classes are here for your grammar and your vocab. And of course, you can practice talking with a partner with these sentences, of course. But if you guys just want to work on your fluency and your confidence, just find someone to chat to. If you don't want to talk to strangers online, that's totally understandable. Go find some friends who are looking to improve their English or also studying IELTS. They are out there, I promise you. All right, guys, thank you so much for being here. And Asma says, I think there should be a story for the townhouse. You know what? I am going to add a story for that townhouse just for you. Let me see. Extra content. Let's see. One day, there was a terrible earthquake that happened in a very localized area just underneath my townhouse complex. It shook the ground so hard that half of the building sank into the ground. It is now a tourist attraction. But I refuse to move. Okay, I hope that you find this story funny. Asma, thank you for asking that. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your evenings, guys. Thanks for coming. And don't forget, Phil will be here on Friday for a mock exam. So make sure you guys go and say hi to him and tell him that he's a terrible partner for me. All right, guys, enjoy everything. Goodbye. And maybe I'll see you on Discord tomorrow or the next day. Peace, everybody.